Saving money sounds simple. Spend less, earn more, repeat. But if it were really that easy, most people wouldn't feel stressed every time they check their bank balance. Here's the truth no one likes to admit. Most saving advice is outdated. It was designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. A world without subscription overload, algorithm-driven spending, or silent lifestyle inflation. In 2026, money doesn't leak from your wallet all at once. It escapes quietly, in tiny, invisible ways you barely notice until it's gone. The good news? You don't need extreme budgeting, financial guilt, or cutting all the fun out of your life. What you need are a few smart rules that actually work in the modern economy. Today, I'll break down 5 simple rules that can realistically help you save money in 2026 without feeling deprived. And rule number 1 might completely change how you think about saving. Number 5, automate your savings before you see the money. At number 5, something most people overlook because it feels too basic to matter. Automation. This rule is simple. If you wait until the end of the month to save money, you probably won't. Whatever is left will magically disappear. That's because humans don't save what they can, they save what they never touched. When your paycheck arrives, your brain instantly adjusts to the number it sees. If all the money hits your main account, your lifestyle quietly expands to fill it. Automation fixes that. The moment your income arrives, a portion should disappear on purpose, straight into savings, investments, or a separate account you don't casually open. Why this matters in 2026 is simple. Spending has become frictionless. One-click payments, stored cards, and auto-renewing subscriptions make money feel imaginary. Automation puts friction back where it belongs. Real example, people who automate even 5 to 10% of their income save more long-term than those who plan to save 20% later. Tools make this easy. Bank auto transfers, salary split features, apps like NAB, Revolut, or Wise, employer-linked savings accounts. Income potential here isn't about earning more. It's about protecting what you already earn. Set it once, forget it exists. Let time do the work. And once your saving is invisible, the next rule shows you where most people are quietly losing thousands. Number 4, cut silent subscriptions, not big joys. This next one might shock you, not because it's dramatic, but because it's sneaky. Subscriptions. In 2026, subscriptions are no longer just Netflix and Spotify. They're everywhere. Fitness apps, AI tools, cloud storage, premium features you forgot you upgraded. Individually, they look harmless. $10 here, $15 there, but together they create a slow financial drain that never feels painful enough to stop. That's why they're dangerous. Why this matters now is simple. Companies rely on forgetfulness, not value. The longer you don't cancel, the more profitable you become. A real example? Many people spend more on subscriptions than they do on groceries, without realizing it. The rule here isn't to cancel everything, it's to audit aggressively. Once every 3 months, do a subscription sweep. Ask 3 questions. 1, did I use this in the last 30 days? 2, does it actively improve my life or income? 3, would I rebuy this today at full price? If the answer is no, cancel it. Use tools like bank subscription trackers, apps like Rocket Money, simple calendar reminders. Here's the key insight. Cutting subscriptions hurts less than cutting experiences. Cancel the invisible leaks before you cut the visible joys. Because once the leaks are plugged, you're ready for the rule that protects you from your future self. Number 3, create a future problem fund. At number 3, something almost no one does, but everyone needs. Most people save for goals, vacations, gadgets, emergencies. But in 2026, the biggest financial stress comes from unexpected, predictable problems. Car repairs, medical bills, tech replacements, family obligations. These aren't surprises, they're inevitable. The mistake is treating them like emergencies. Instead, create a future problem fund. This is separate from your emergency fund. Its only purpose is to absorb life's predictable chaos before it becomes stressful. Why this matters is psychological. When problems hit and you already plan for them, you don't panic, you don't borrow, you don't break your savings streak. Someone with a future problem fund doesn't feel stressed when their phone dies. They replace it calmly. Someone without it feels like life is attacking them. You can build this slowly. Even small monthly contributions work. Tools and methods. Separate high-yield savings account. Label it clearly. Auto-fund it monthly. The income potential here is indirect but powerful. Fewer emergencies mean fewer bad financial decisions, and those decisions are what cost people the most. Once you stop reacting to life, the next rule helps you stop spending emotionally. Number 2, Switch from budgeting to boundaries. This one changes everything. Traditional budgets fail because they try to control every decision, every coffee, every meal, every impulse. That's exhausting. In 2026, the smarter move is financial boundaries, not budgets. Boundaries are simple rules you don't negotiate with daily. For example, I don't finance depreciating items. I only eat out twice a week. No impulse purchases over $50 without 48 hours. Why this matters is mental energy. Every decision you make during the day drains a little bit of focus, and money decisions are some of the most exhausting. The fewer choices you have to negotiate with yourself, the fewer mistakes you'll make over time. In the real world, people who use spending boundaries stick to them longer than those who follow detailed budgets. That's because boundaries remove daily friction. You're not constantly checking numbers or justifying small purchases. The decision is already made. So instead of asking, "Can I afford this right now?" you ask a much simpler question. Does this break my rule? If it does, the answer is no, without guilt or debate. Tools and apps can help, but they're not the main point. The rule itself does the work. The key insight is this: saving money isn't about discipline, it's about design. Design your life so overspending becomes inconvenient. And once your spending is under control, the final rule decides whether you truly get ahead. Number 1, turn saving into identity, not a goal. At number 1, the most important rule and the hardest to fake. Most people treat saving like a temporary challenge, something they'll do until life improves. That's why it fails. In 2026, the people who save consistently don't rely on motivation. They rely on identity. They don't say, "I'm trying to save." They say, "I'm the kind of person who saves first." Why this matters is behavioral science. Humans act in alignment with who they believe they are. If saving is just a goal, it's optional. If saving is part of your identity, it's automatic. Real example, someone who identifies as financially intentional doesn't feel deprived by skipping impulse buys. It feels normal. You build this identity through small wins, consistent automation, clear boundaries, visible progress, track net worth monthly, celebrate boring progress, make saving part of how you see yourself. The income potential here is massive, not because you earn more overnight, but because consistency compounds quietly. And once saving becomes who you are, everything else starts to feel easier. Conclusion: saving money in 2026 isn't about extreme frugality or outdated advice. It's about automation over willpower, systems over stress, identity over motivation. If you automate early, cut silent leaks, plan for predictable problems, set clear boundaries, and turn saving into part of who you are, money stops feeling like a constant struggle. You don't need perfection, you need direction. Start with one rule: build momentum. Let the system carry you forward. Because a year from now, you'll either wish you had started, or you'll be grateful you did. And if this helped you think differently about money, subscribe to the channel for more simple, practical ideas that actually work in the real world. The only question left is, what will you do next?